He didn't mention anything about this angry book himself. Just so bizarre. But that's
Nice stories.
no, but he did. But he did mention. I expected him to mention like Sanderson and the Sanderson and the we never lost it. The guy running around saying, "I found it. I found it. I found the truth." They the by the Buffalo, but the bumper stickers say, "We never lost it." The chorus go.
That's a good one.
How many
Okay.
years inside it?
Now, Rabbi Sai,
Let's
we're
do
going to be learning the halachos that I gave this year for Erev Pesach,
Shaliot.
Chalis b'Shabbos, and the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch. It's Simin Tov Mem Dalid. Simin Tov Mem Dalid, the page, it's Kuf Mem Aleph. Says the Alter Rebbe, Aleph, Yud Aleph Nissen, Chalis b'Shabbos, Kivin She'ef Shelivde B'Gel Shabbos, She'osel Taltos Aner Livde Kloirei. You can't carry the ner. V'gam b'yoymi Ef Shelivdik, you need to dafku by night. V'fich Magdimin HaKoil Livdik B'Lo Shishi, Shalel Yigimel. We do it the night before, Thursday night. Umevarchin, Al Bir Chametz. Muvatan Kol Chametz Shenisha B'Shusay, Shaloi Mitzoi B'dik B'Zu. Nizharim B'Chametz Hanimsa B'Bdika, or Chametz Shmeshayim Lachila Nichibak Mutzna, Shegaru Mimeno Ktana Meshratzim. Like as always, we're careful with the chametz we find the bedika and all the chametz that we're leaving to eat for
Even more than
for Shabbos, even more, yeah. To put in a good place that people, kids and animals shouldn't take it to.
we only eat Shabbos morning before the time. Right? We daven very early,
Yeah,
and we do. What about the people that eat Shalashudas? When they eat
that's what we're gonna learn. Good question. B'yoyim erev Shabbos.
on Friday?
Tzarich levar kol chametz shebusei v'lo yishav mimenu rak mezoyim. A competition here. Like mezoyim beis sudas l'Shabbos.
He doesn't hear. He has a
You should only leave for Shabbos 2 meals. Our sudas shlishis.
right.
Kiven shezmanu achatzeis hayoyim. Ki ef shelo ochel rak matzah shiro. Can't eat chametz. And you can't eat matzah. Because at a Pesach you're not allowed to eat matzah min adin. We have a minig not to eat matzah already shloishim yoyim. But midin the Gemara you're not allowed to eat matzah at a
I
Pesach.
just found out that only Chabad is Lashim. Everybody else is Lashvedish.
Wow.
You know that?
I don't know the difference.
When I said it, he says, no, it was Swedish.
What?
But our minhag is 30 days.
Min adin is only the ants are moving around. They're gonna get an exterminator. They put ant hills.
I'll tell the rabbi tomorrow. Yeah.
You could put something. I remember there was times, maybe not as bad, but there were times that have.
I'll still like it in the country.
So
What's in Matzah?
L'maisa, matzah ashira. What is matzah ashira? The hainu matzah shiniloisha yayin oy shemen eidvash cholav v'shar mashkin mepenis. Meaning you do not need it with water. You need it with other juices.
So that's why it's called Ashira, because the poor man has only water and flour.
If you look today in the stores, they sell matzah ashira. It's made either grape juice or apple juice.
Special for
Grape juice, apple juice.
special for that Shabbos.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shekol elu einin nekroim lechem oini. Vein adam yoytzei behani dei chayvus achilas matzah Pesach. The Torah says lechem oini. Lechem oini means a poor man's bread. A poor man, he doesn't have oil, wine, eggs, fruit juice.
Right.
He has water and flour.
Right.
So the Torah says lechem oini, the matzah that were yoytzei yidei chayvusei can only be.
Rabbi, the matzah shira is the mezoinus, no?
Right. And machlokes. I mean, really machlokes. I mean, because it's like bread, you know.
Was cheap compared to America. $80. Here it would be over $110.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Hello.
he saved a lot of money getting.
Office here.
We make the mochi and the matzah shivas for Shabbos Shvitas.
So that goes into the same machlokes. It's a good question. It goes into the same machlokes whether or not whether or not we make Zionist on a Zionist bread. So some people have an issue with Zionist bread and they make on a tamaitzi.
Sure. You can do that.
Some people do it l'chatchila because they say Zionist bread is not Zionist. They say that's bread.
Right. Right.
So that would be the same answer to your question. But if you do eat a nice amount of the matzah shira, you're kevei sud on it, and you have to make a maitzi regardless, according to all opinions. Even if you always will make mezainis on mezainis bread,
Right.
but when you eat your kevei suda, you have to make a maitzi.
What about hummus?
So if you're going to eat a lot of matzah shira by your meal,
Yeah.
you have to
You have to
wash
wash.
it.
You have to what?
Wash.
Of course.
Just like today, when you eat a lot of what quote unquote mezainis bread, you also have to wash your
Why
kevei
can't,
suda.
why can't in the morning, right after davening, eat, bench, and wash again and eat? Why have to be at the pizzas?
Because that's the zman. The zman is after in the afternoon.
The point is to eat to sudas, so to eat to sudas in the day.
So we'll see. There's going to be other eitzes. I wonder if he brings the other eitzes. We'll see. Lefichach mutalach at Pesach. Matzah shira you're allowed to eat at a Pesach. Aval kol matzah.
What? I didn't hear you.
You can eat that at a Pesach.
That kind of matzah.
Oh.
Because you can't eat regular matzah. You're not allowed to eat at Pesach because you're eating it that night. So
Right.
You can't. Well, you're eating now, and then you're going to tonight. What type of excitement are you going to have eating matzah by the Seder if you ate it a whole day?
Right.
But matzah shira, which you're not yoitza,
Right.
even though it's not chametz, but you're not yoitza, matzah's mitzvah, because it's not lechem oini, you're allowed to eat it Erev Pesach. Because it's a different type of matzah, different taste.
This matzah shira.
Different type of matzah.
This matzah shira. How they make it?
Avakol matzah sha'adim yoitza b'yideche v'aseh b'Pesach, aser la'achla b'Erev Pesach.
No, I'm asking when they make the matzah and shiro, another Pesach before for that seuda. How do you make it? A regular oven? It's a chometz.
No, the matzah shira is not chametz.
What's
Kosher
considered
Pesach.
matzah ashira? What is that? Egg matzah?
Yeah, egg matzah.
Egg, wine, milk,
Uh-huh.
And they put other things. You have it in the stores today. You'll look, you'll see.
and it says kosher Pesach.
Yeah.
I thought it's Sfardim, or maybe it's everybody. We're not supposed to have any matzah like 30 days before Pesach?
Right.
Not just the day before.
And that's why you eat matzah.
That's a
shira, not
minig.
matzah.
Ah, gotcha.
That's a minig.
It's a minhag. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now, however, this is a problem for Ashkenazim. Ashkenazim don't eat matzah shira on Pesach. Not only the Seder.
Right.
The fact that matzah shira is not lechem oini only poses an issue for the Seder.
Okay.
It doesn't pose an issue Seder night because you have to have matzah's mitzvah.
Right.
Has to be lechem oini, poor man's bread. But the rest of the Pesach, all the meals, the day meals, and the rest of the Pesach, you can have matzah shira min hadin, no problem. It's kosher Pesach. Why not?
But
You don't need to have lechem oini a whole Pesach.
Uh-huh.
You need to have your matzah's mitzvah that you're eating the night of Pesach. You
That's
have to eat the kairich and the alachilas matzah.
Right.
You
Lafi koimen.
could not eat matzah the whole Pesach.
Really?
Yeah. Only by the Seder you the matzah. that's it.
Then you completed your.
No, the whole Pesach you don't have to eat
However, in Gimel we say Medinas Elu in these countries, meaning by Ashkenazim,
Right.
Shei noigin klal lechem matzah shira better Pesach m'shahei ve'elach. From the time that we burn chametz, we stop eating chametz. From then and on, we don't eat matzah shira at all the whole Pesach.
Right.
So what are you gonna? What are those? How are you gonna eat the shalosh shudas?
Oh.
Yikaimo, so the shlishes bebasa v'dogim.
Right.
Yoitze with basar v'dogim, fish
Wow.
and meat. Chayoitze mishami lifting other types of foods that we eat the bread with normally. So now we can't have the bread, we can't have the matzah,
Right.
but we'll have what we eat it with. We'll lift them. People would eat fish and meat together with the bread, like a sandwich. Sheyesh oyimim shedvarim elu adam yoytzei chayvus l'shlish b'chol Shabbos Hashem. Some say your yoytzei l'shlish the whole year with that.
You don't have to wash it. We do this.
You don't have lift on. You don't have meat or fish. You come out of minipedis. Yoitza with fruits. Sharei Shem. There's another opinion which says a more lenient opinion. With that, you're also yoitza shalosh shudas.
That's like what we do.
Be'etzem b'hoya. Top of Kuf Ben Beis v'yiroi look kind of matzah v'shalas. Really, the best thing is
But we eat after Pesach.
best thing is to take matzah
Fry that with egg.
and to cook it,
Fry that with egg.
but not in a manner that it lost its form. Should not disintegrate with the cooking.
Right.
If there's still pieces there, large pieces,
Right.
that you could still make on it hamaitzi b'chsamazon. Because you could,
No, matzah.
according to all shittas, this will be good. Because you're allowed to eat it every Pesach, because it's cooked. You can't have something cooked. So it's baked matzah, regular matzah. You cook it in a manner that there's still large enough pieces that are kazayis. Otherwise, it becomes mzaynis. And if you want to do shalosh shudas the real proper way, if you're someone who always washes shalosh shudas, and you want to be yoytz shalosh shudas the best way, really, take matzah, cook it up, make a dish out of it. As long as you still have strips that are kazayis each, it's still hamaitzi, and it's not a problem to have it Erev Pesach because you can't be yoytz to the mitzvah with this matzah because it's cooked. It's not baked. Sheinem yoytze yitei Pesach matzahs. Elo sheinogen lasis kein. However, the minig is not to do this.
Just a random thing. You like to have matzah, or shemorah, and put cheese on it, and put marinara sauce on, let's say, a holomah egg, and cook it in the oven.
It's a dibok.
One second. I hear one second before we take the questions. Finish English. If someone who is noyik that way,
Oh my gosh.
that is not the minig. Alter Rebbe says.
Oh.
Even though it seems like that would be the best option, we don't see that's the minig. Alter Rebbe is quoting earlier Paiskin that they didn't see people doing this. Someone who does do that. And those places, let's say Svardim, that have the minig to have matzah ashira
Right.
on Pesach, they don't have a problem with it.
Right.
Ashkenazim have extra stringency, they don't want matzah ashira on Pesach. Maybe some water got mixed in with the
Right.
fruit juice. It's not pure fruit juice, so they want to stay away. So they shouldn't eat it late in the day or Pesach. Even though it's perfectly fine for them to eat it after you stop eating
Right.
chametz, because they are okay with eating matzah ashira on Pesach. Or they're eating this cooked matzah.
Right.
However, you should not wash after the 10th hour of the day because you're too full. You're not going to want to eat matzah that night.
Right.
Because you're full. So, you're not, Erev Yom to Erev Shabbos, it's not supposed to wash and have a meal close to Shabbos.
Right.
Supposed to be hungry.
Now, so I want to recap and then we'll discuss what you bring up over here. But, for Maisa, what are we discussing? The Erev Pesach this year is unique, Shabbos. And people that are noyig to have Suda Shlishis
Right.
have a problem this year. Because Shalosh Shudas has to be eaten after Chatzos. After Chatzos, already after the time when you don't eat chametz anymore.
Right.
So what are you going to eat? Matzah you're not allowed to eat, it's Erev Pesach. You can't eat matzah. Because tonight you're eating matzah. Chazal say you're not allowed to eat matzah Erev Pesach. A very strong isser. No matzah Erev Pesach. Some people have a minig earlier, 30 days, 2 weeks before they stop eating it, but that's a minig.
Okay.
Halacha, Shulchan Aruch is Erev Pesach.
Got it.
What are you going to eat? You can't eat chametz. It's after chatzos. You can't eat matzah. So the option of matzah shira is problematic for Ashkenazim because they have a minig not to have matzah shira in Pesach.
Oh.
So you can't do matzah shira.
Right.
So the Alter Rebbe, there's a number of levels that you can do. There are opinions that say you could be yoytz shalosh shudas, fish and meat.
Uh-huh.
Even though that's not the main opinion, we have to wash. You don't have a choice. Rely on that. You don't have fish and meat. Go down a level. Have fruits. Fruits. Some people say perot yoytza. It's not as chashuv as basav adogim. Some people say yoytza there. So go down to there. He brings up this idea that there is an idea out there that you could do it according to all opinions. Take a regular matzah, cook it in a manner that still remains hamaitzi. The pieces there are still more than a kazayis each. So the bracha on it still remains a hamaitzi. And a mamash yoitza according to all opinions. It's not matzah shira. It's not matzah that you yoitza. It's not chametz. It's not matzah that you yoitza tonight because you can't be yoitza with cooked matzah.
Right.
That can be a best shalosh shudas that make a hamaitzi. The Alter Rebbe brings that already from early Ashkenazi poskim that we don't see people doing this. So he says that someone who does do this and svardim that are noyik to do matzah shira, great. Just don't wash. You wash after chatzos. It's a little bit not too late in the day because you want to be full, but you're not going to want to eat for the seder.
Right.
You're supposed to have the seder for the taiva. Just enjoy it. You're not hungry.
Right.
You're not going to enjoy it. So this is all about shalosh shudas. I have a little bit of an idea. In the morning, we have our meal. We have our chametz meal in the morning. We daven early. What do? We daven like 7 o'clock, 7 a.m., 7:30, Shabbos, Erev Pesach.
This year, going to be
This
7
year.
o'clock, yeah.
We daven early. The shuls are going to make early breakfast.
We'll finish by 8:30.
Right.
Then
By
everyone,
9:30, you're not allowed to eat anymore.
so everyone goes home, has an early meal.
Have
Make
what?
have a kiddush, have an early meal, and you have your bilkala,
Outside, you eat
and
the
you're
food
careful.
outside.
You don't want to
Small challah.
your challah, your roll.
You keep it outside with
Oh,
a
I
bag.
understand. Yeah.
You want to eat it in a place where you don't want to eat on your kosher Pesach table and everything,
Flush it down the toilet.
and the rest, whatever's left over,
If something
flush it out. Or if something's left over, so you buy minimal amount.
Got it.
But I have an eitzah for you,
Right.
an eitzah which I personally did last time, and I found it very good. To buy matzah ashira
Okay.
for the morning meal, not talking about later.
Right.
You have this for your shachris meal. It's
Right.
not chametz. It's just a minute that Ashkenazim don't eat it.
Right.
Right.
It's a minute. We don't have an
for the
atzashira.
time. It's for the time.
Now there's no problem, but it's
No
not.
problem.
You don't have to worry about the crumbs and everything. It's not chametz.
That's the problem.
It's not chametz. You go buy with a hechsher,
Uh-huh.
and you eat it instead of eating pure chametz. If you're all nervous and worried,
Especially when you have a little
Have-
kid, that's the problem.
have a house
With little
here.
kid, it's a problem.
Yeah, I don't want the whole business. I don't want a chametz in my house. I don't want to flushing down toilets. I don't want the whole business. You can buy yourself a box. They sell in the store. I saw the different companies today. I remember the last time they had this kvias was 4 years ago.
So kosher Pesach,
And it was in
matzah shira.
2021 was the last time we had this kvias.
Wow.
And I think now we're not going to have another 17 years. So we 2021. It was only one company I saw in the stores, but now I see a lot of companies there. Out the different various companies are making matzah ashira. Some are doing with grape juice, some with apple juice. It's tasty.
The point is,
If you
will
take
eat
with
Shabbos
grape juice,
morning.
it's like a tasty type of matzah.
You don't have to. You don't
You
have
buy
to.
with a hechsher on it, a good hechsher.
Right.
It's not chametz. It's not something that we eat on Pesach, but it's not chametz.
Right.
So you don't have to be so worried. The balabasta is not so worried.
That's a good
What's going to be with the kram and with this? It's not matzah shir in the morning. Nothing wrong with that.
You finish, then you go to the meal. Because everything is Pesach already.
Yeah.
Friday night, you eat
Yeah.
everything in Pesach.
You don't have to worry if this thing pieces go somewhere. Kram, it's not such a worry. It's kosher to Pesach. It's not a problem.
Right.
It's not a problem. You don't have to go and be baidik and put it in the
It's scary, yeah.
So if you want it, you don't have to. The traditional way is people buy these small little rolls. All the bakeries are going to make small rolls this week. They're not going to. The last week,
There's
not
no
this week,
challah.
the week before Pesach, they're not going to make these big challahs.
That's it.
They're going to all
Only
make
small
small
challahs.
rolls.
Right.
Everyone's gonna buy for each member of the family gets
One roll.
a roll or two. And you know what you need. You don't want to have extras lying around. I don't want to stuff up my toilet or any problems.
No, we don't.
So you buy a minimal amount, and that's it. You know, this is not a challah week. You know, we're not eating a lot of challah. After you eat your challah, then you pull out all your Pesach. You don't want to cook you're not cooking chametz food. You're not going to wash your
No,
kelim.
everything is
I mean, your
Pesach.
kitchen is already all Pesach.
Right.
So you're making your Pesach chalent,
Right.
right?
Everything.
Everything's Pesach.
Right.
So all that's not Pesach is your challah. Everything else in the meal
is.
Right.
is.
Okay.
And then you're bringing out all your Pesach stuff, your Pesach hot food that you prepared. You want to eat.
That's after you get rid of the bread that you throw
They
down.
don't have bread. It's matzah.
Yeah, you can't. You don't want to keep on the same
Yeah.
table. You're not going to eat this on your kosher Pesach
Matzah,
table.
matzah, shira,
Right,
put
so
it
you-
on the table.
The look on my father-in-law's face 25, 30 years ago. This is when he invited him for Friday night. He comes, we're eating downstairs in the basement. The basement had wires and there's no sheetrock because that, why do you eat in the basement? We never heard of such a thing. Because so we're eating the hamotzi in the basement. He almost had a,
Kiddush, it's supposed to be Kiddush Mukom Seudah. So when you make Kiddush over there, you have to eat the motzi.
right.
You could continue. You have in mind.
The
The problem with the challah is
Yeah.
you have a limitation of the time. You have a time limitation, right?
Right. So that's what
That's you're under a lot of pressure, whatever. That's not fun.
Right. So that's why I'm suggesting for those that are interested to try out something novel, to try out eating matzah, having matzah shira. Buy yourself
What
a box
exactly
or
is
two.
it, and how do you do it?
There is in the stores. It's called matzah shira.
Okay.
It says on it matzah shira. It's called in English egg matzah. You go into the aisles of your kosher supermarket, and it
Yeah,
has a
they
good
have
texture on
the
it.
egg matzah, but that's
Some of them are made with grape juice. Some are made with apple juice, and they're tasty. And you can have that in the morning, and it's not chametz. It's just we don't eat it on Pesach.
Right.
It's
Do
a
you
minute
wash
not
on
to
it? 'Cause
Pesach.
it's
It's not
not-
chametz.
Do you wash on it?
Sure.
You're saying egg
Your
matzah
mamish
with
kevei
wheat.
suda. You're having your meal on it.
Is there wheat inside?
Yes, of course. There's wheat. Yes, hamaitzi.
Okay.
But it's not water. There's no water in it. It's made pashal Pesach.
It's like the pizza. They're making the matzah, the wheat with the juice. It's like a fix. They fix it for the juice.
Yeah, they make it with juice instead of water. So it's not something that we eat on Pesach. It's not a minig that we don't have this egg matzah on Pesach. But Erev Pesach in the morning, when you're really allowed to have chametz also, you don't want it in your house. You don't want all the stress. I'm just giving an advice. It doesn't say it in Shulchan Aruch here.
Yeah.
My own personal.
Are a lot of people doing that? Are people doing that?
I think people do it.
Yeah.
I think some people do it, but it's up to people. People like to eat. I personally found it to be very tasty. We had one that was made with grape juice, and I already bought a few boxes already myself this year. I bought 2 boxes and there's ones with apple juice. I bought with the grape juice. They found it my children loved it. It was very tasty, and people were really eating a lot of it. They liked it, and we didn't have to be all concerned with getting rid of all the chametz and the chalas. We had no chametz coming into Shabbos. No, absolute chametz. All we had was matzah shira. I was not flushing down toilets. I was not worried about getting rid of anything. I didn't have to wash up my mouth.
The matzah shira we don't eat at a certain time.
Yeah. So the matzah shira we don't eat after the time when we stop eating. It's not chametz.
You have to stop it on Saturday.
You don't need to flush it down the toilet.
10, I think.
10.
10.
Okay. You wanted to ask something.
Oh,
You
yeah.
you remember?
Yeah.
They take cheese and put in the matzah.
Even they put on some more matzah cheese.
Yeah.
Like cheese. Then they put some kind of sauce, marinara sauce, something, and they put it in the oven up on Chol Moed, and they make it like a pizza. Is it?
This is no problem for anyone who doesn't have an issue with gebrachs.
Okay.
Some people, they're careful with matzah shruya.
Okay.
Gebrachs. They don't want matzah to come in contact with water.
Water, I see.
Only water.
Right.
But since some of these sauces might have water in them and they might be mixed with water, So people that are careful, very careful with gebrachs wouldn't do it. If you're not careful with gebrachs, there's no problem.
Sfardim, not careful with the rock.
I don't know what's fine.
No, for them, no.
Not right, not at all. Yeah.
Not at all. And even those people who are careful with gebrachs, they will take things like a piece of cheese that's no water on it,
Yes.
or eggs that were made, eggs or avocado that they made. Some families will do this. They're very careful. Not a drop of water went on it. They care if everything's dry. They take a dry knife, a dry avocado, a dry plate. They'll make the avocado. They'll smear it on, but they don't want to do products that have water in it
Yes.
because then they're very careful with gebrachs.
I see.
But if those that are not careful with gebrachs don't have any problem with these pizza matzahs.
I see.
No problem with the pizza.
Miles, we eat matzah in a plastic bag.
Oh
We
my
finish, clean your mouth. Nothing more. That's it.
You don't put any fruit.
Nothing. It's
Right. But some families I know,
Yeah,
even in Chabad, some families that are very strict, they are
I so
lenient
much.
to put
I so much on chocolate.
Fine.
avocado and to put.
Yeah.
I so much
Yeah.
on chocolate. You know, like rice cake with chocolate. I so much on chocolate. You. Kosher Pesach, much on chocolate.
Really?
If you do it properly, it's not a problem.
Yeah,
If the chocolate has no water in it,
Right.
it's dry. It's not so there's a lot of minhagim and personal family minhagim. So
Right.
I'm not here advocating people change their family minhagim, but I'm just saying if you're asking if you eat brachs, it's not a problem. There's no issue.
My brother-in-law house was so machmir. His parents came from Russia. So no salt, no sugar, no
Wow.
black pepper.
No.
Nothing. My sister needed to make the fish just with carrot and onion. And
Wow.
it tastes delicious. Somehow I should make a miracle. But no salt. Anything that, even soap to wash the dishes, no.
What are they doing?
It was very, very difficult.
No soap? What are you doing with no soap?
You wash, I don't know, just water.
Oh my
It was difficult.
Okay, Sif Hey Rabbi say.
And there was only like potatoes,
Kishemevar hachometz
carrot.
be'erev Pesach Shabbos.
That's it.
Now, when you are getting rid of the chametz erev Shabbos, it's not the time yet of beer chametz. It's tomorrow on Shabbos of beer chametz.
Lechor, right.
So technically, when you make your fire erev Pesach, erev Shabbos, you can make it any time in the day.
Lechor.
Right.
Mvar chametz be'erev Shabbos af apisha min adin. Yochol avari samach hashecha vein tzarich avari koidim chatzis yom k'mei shar kol shonim shemutalach that the macha b'shahei. Kol makom toiv lizar levari be'erev Shabbos can same shadei shlo yivoy litis shar sham levar gam ken achtzis beisa.
But doctor, we do it.
Since really this year of Shabbos, half hour before Shabbos, you can make your fire. You're good to go, because this whole day there's no chiyuv bir chametz.
You eat in
You
the
can
night.
eat a whole day, enjoy yourself a whole
Right.
day. You're gonna eat at night chametz maybe, and you're gonna eat the next morning chametz. You're gonna have a little bokalach. You're gonna have chametz. It's not beer chametz. The next day is when we flushing in the toilet. So when we make the fire of Pesach to burn the chametz we have, you technically do it a whole day, but l'maisa we don't. We do it the same time. We do it every year, just to not make changes, because maybe the next year. You think, oh wait, we did this. Every family just remembers different things. Yeah, what's the problem? We did it last year, and
Right.
forgetting last year was different. So we keep things the same. It's just simple.
Right.
Keep things the same.
You're saying we have to start a fire this year on Shabbos?
No. On Erev Shabbos,
On Friday before
Ah.
Chatzot.
we're gonna make a fire, right?
I got you. Okay.
When are we gonna make it? Technically speaking, you can make it a whole day whenever you want, because the zman of the getting rid of the chametz is not till the next day, till Shabbos morning.
You're saying we're doing it early on Friday afternoon.
We're still gonna keep it to the same time.
Uh-huh.
But if you didn't have a chance to do it earlier, you'll do it later. Remember,
Uh-huh.
technically speaking, you're allowed to have it a whole day. What about bittul? We say after we burn the chametz, we're mevatel. We nullify all the chametz. We can't do the bittul. We still have chametz in our rishus. We bought bilkalach for Shabbos. We bought geschmacka Danish. We want to have in mezainis Shabbos morning. Possibly, you might have bought some rugalach. I don't know how much the bakery is going to
I
have.
don't
Most
think so.
bakeries don't bake much for the Shabbos. Very little in the
Okay.
bakeries, because
From Wednesday.
they have to get rid of everything
From Wednesday,
they
they
sell.
don't start baking.
So,
Wow.
but you can't say bittul on Erev Shabbos. Bittul you have to wait till after your Shabbos meal. On Shabbos, after your meal, you bench. Now make your bittul chametz. You got rid of all your chametz. You flushed it down. Say your bittul.
Right.
This sivav. But ain't so bevatel by Shabbos b'shas abiyah. We don't bevatel the chametz at the normal time every year. Shrei kvar bittul below vav. Kol hachametz shebelashusay.
Right.
Shrei matzoi v'nidei menu. We know the night of Bedikas Chametz, after you finish Bedika, we're supposed to say Bittul, Thursday night.
Right. We do.
After you check for the Chametz, you don't, whatever Chametz you don't know about, you do a Bittul. You say, on Nusach, where I'm a Vatal, I nullify any Chametz I didn't find.
Right.
Remember, you did find Chametz, and you have Chametz put aside for the next day for breakfast, for Shabbat. That you're not nullifying. You're not giving that away. You're not making it hefker. It's yours. You want to keep. It's only Chametz that you were Mavatal the night before.
Right.
Is the one I don't know about.
Right.
The next day, normally, you do after the fire, you say a bittul, then you make even the chametz which I know about on the vatal. But this year, you can't do that because you're going to wait till Shabbos because I want to keep my chametz till Shabbos.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep it. The ending of Sivav, Shabbos. You can't do it. So you wait until Shabbos morning, after you eat your chalas, after you wash your mouth out, you wash your hands already. Everyone, family, get together. Let's say the bittul chametz, whatever we know about, whatever we don't know about, we're nullifying because now we're no longer eating any chametz. So even the fire is the regular time. Bittul, we're leaving that out. We're not saying the bittul. That we're leaving for Shabbos morning. So you can't make a fire on Shabbos. So that we're doing Erev Shabbos.
There's some catering that make a meal on Friday night and Shabbos morning. No, serious.
Can go to eat in a hole somewhere.
Yeah, but that's
It's a good way to make money. Yeah.
No, exactly, and people don't want the stress in the house.
Right.
But I say
So that's my own eights. I'm telling everyone here. I'm just giving you my own eights that work for me.
Can you put on for a minute? Just for a minute. Just for a minute.
It's a nice eight. If you like this matzah, take a look at the store. It takes away a lot of your worries. If you take this matzah shir. Yesh lahazer siv zayin lashliach tzibur l'shat shel yarech betfila b'Shabbos shakas shemachilos chametz shevedi iser. The chazan gets up Shabbos morning. He starts to chazan zich. He starts to show off his voice. We tell him, no. We got to go eat chametz now. We don't want to have a long davening now. We don't want to have a meal, or not a stressful meal over here. Got to get rid of our chametz. We don't have, so let's keep it moving along.
Right.
What time do we need to finish? What time we need to finish on Shabbos? For those having
the exact
comments.
time I don't know. You have to look at the calendar.
Around 8:30. We start having 7 o'clock. 8:30 we finish in Shachis and Musaf.
No, he's asking the chametz.
Around 10:30, 10:15.
What? 10:40. Look on your calendar.
10:40 was already.
No more eating chametz anymore. So we have our meal earlier, so we shouldn't have any issue.
So really, the easiest thing is not to have any chametz, and you have this kind of egg matzah you're talking about.
Correct. That's what I think is the best thing. If you don't want
It's
stress,
too much-
but if
it's
your
too much
family likes
stress.
challah, no problem. I mean, that's people. You buy these little bilkalach. You buy each one a bilkalach. You buy an extra from Mitzi. You buy just what you need, exactly what you need for the meal. You're not You're not going to be sticking in your challah into every dip and everything all around the table, making every. You don't want the chametz all over everything.
I'm always
You want to keep your chametz limited off the table. You eat it on the side somewhere. Some people like to go to outside. People go to the porch. People like to find interesting places where to eat their chametz. Whatever. You don't have to really do that with
the head out of the window.
the main problem is with children.
You're in a building.
The main issue with children, with adults, it's not really an issue. You don't really have to do all these crazy things for adults. You could sit on a chair on the away from the Pesach table on the other side and eat your chametz. But the women also, they're very into the chair. The chair is kosher the Pesach. You drop the piece of chametz on it, so they get all nervous about it. So I don't know where you're going to end up eating the chametz this year, on a porch, in a backyard, in a shed, in a garage. I'm not sure where you're going to be, but if you want to eat it normally, you can buy the matzah shira. You won't have this problem.
Good idea.
It's right. No, it doesn't help. You still have to. It just will be maybe a little more comfortable for you that you
Not to take.
not near the table.
Pesach table.
On the porch, it's still in your rishut.
Yeah.
Matzah shir is the best thing to do. But even the crumbs aren't
What
chametz.
doesn't?
Pizza.
If you have a fresh pita bread.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
have a good idea.
Smart.
Good
And
idea.
and Thursday night we do the search. On Thursday night we do the search. Baruch atah Hashem, b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al bi'ur chametz.
Oh no.
Thursday night we do bedikas chametz.
Bi'ur, you say the blessing and you say kol hamira, and then you say
Yeah,
kol
kol
hamira.
chamir Thursday night, but Friday after we burn the chametz, we don't say the kol chamira. We don't.
Why?
There's
Why
Don't
don't
say
we
the kol
say?
chamir Friday.
Why?
Wait till Shabbos.
Are we saying on Shabbos?
On Shabbos after the meal.
Very, very difficult. This, yeah.
The kol hamira with the burning. You're saying after the meal.
Right, that kol chamir with the burning, we push off. We push off till Shabbos
Until-
because
You push
you
off
still
until
have
after
chametz.
Shabbos.
You want to eat something in the morning, Shabbos morning. You
Uh-huh.
want to eat.
After Shabbos is Pesach. You can't earlier.
Sifchas.
One more. Yes.
Let's do another sif. Then we'll go to Ma'ariv. Ein. I hope we have a minion. Right, so we can have a minion. Ein lavash shel Shabbos then mini rifois mini kimchem eshakin afshilin shedarkin and double data kind of person should not cook chametz for this Shabbos. Chametz sticky dishes that get sticky to the pots.
Right.
What are you going to have to do after? If you're going to make, let's say, a chametz sticker cholent, let's say, this Shabbos, let's say, Ganazim, we don't want to have kidneys and barley. Let's say you have barley in there. Barley's mamish chametz gomer. So you're going to make your paste, you're going to make a cholent like this, then you're going to have to wash out the pot.
Wow.
And when you wash at a pot, what's the problem washing at the pot? Explain to you. It's not just a headache. It's a halacha issue. Because you're not doing it for Shabbos. You're doing this for Pesach. You're not allowed to wash kalim on Shabbos. That's not for Shabbos. Kadesh yitztarel chadicha m'Shabbos achar g'mal achilo haser it's a chametz a davak behen she'dachazu eina l'tzorech haShabbos. But also the kalim she'letzorech haShabbos. Vim over if you transgressed, you didn't know the halacha. Or bishum inim elu, you did cook these foods, and nidva came, they got stuck to your pots and pans. Meaning she'av shadich kanchem hate to sharma mu'uma mutal adichem haShabbos. And is it possible to clean them, wash them properly without water? Without water, then you have to. Then you should use water. But the Erev, you should use water. Why? There's a mitzvah. To get rid of the chametz. Even if it's only a little bit of chametz, you should be careful to wash them. Enough that it should become nullified.
You have to be conscious. You have to conscious.
Yeah, you're not going to use this pot. You're putting it away.
Oh.
You put it away on top of your
But
somewhere far away.
The mitzvah is that you get rid of the chametz.
So what our minig is, we don't make any chametz sticker dishes.
Right.
Like he says here, you don't make chametz sticker hot food. You put up Pesach sticker food for this meal Shabbos morning.
And Friday
The
night.
only thing that you're having Friday night, the only thing that you're having is possibly those bilkalach, those salad rolls that you're having. That's it. But your fish that you're serving,
The chicken, the
chicken,
soup,
the
everything
soup.
is Pesach.
what you're serving Shabbos day is your Pesach cholent,
Right.
whatever we call Pesach
potato
cholent.
cholent. The potato cholent.
The potato cholent. That's what you do. Yeah, after you finish the meal, say kol chamir before this man. Not by the soif achila, before this man is soif habir. No, Friday you don't say it because you still have the chametz with you. And that's why you separate, you have your chametz, your bilkalach, you can even bench after you have your bilkalach. Whenever you want, you'll have your fish, your pesach fish, or you just eat it on the side, you wash yourself off, and goes to your table, which is all pesach and nice, and having your pesach food. You can't mix the two together. You don't want to have all these issues.
Like say on Friday, it's on Thursday night this time. The kol chamir, no?
There's two kol chamiras. After Badika, the chametz that you don't know about you're mevatel Thursday night.
Correct.
But usually when you burn chametz, you also say kol chamira after
Correct.
the burning.
Okay, select.
That chametz is even chametz that you know about. But now you're not going to be vatal this year chametz minala. You want to eat that chametz tonight, Friday night, and the next day. You have your Danish saved for the next morning. You put your 7-layer cake. Maybe you have one piece
I don't
saved.
think so, but
You remember the old kiddushim that was years ago. What was the kiddushim? Not today's lavish feasts that we have for kiddushim in the meals.
Right.
But years ago was some herring with a kichel and some sponge cake. That wasn't. And the biggest treat was if there was a 7-layer cake. That was the big taiva. That there's a 7-layer cake was the ultimate taiva. What could be in a bakery. But now you walk into the bakeries today, it's like it's cholam adana mitzuyim ka'afer. It's like Yemaisa Mashiach. The foods that you get there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, they soften.
But
Oh,
you
wow.
don't eat on Erev Pesach, what you eat in the kara. Whatever you put on the pan. Yeah, sit with the charosis. Apple and almond.
So
They do walnuts, not.
They walnuts, so we get walnuts, but it's probably the same mint.
next week, Emet Hashem, we'll talk more what to do. We're going to continue these halachos. What to do with all your crumbs and large crumbs, the small crumbs. What do you do with chametz that you can't get rid of? Can you give it to a guy? We'll discuss more of the halachos next week.
The second call chamira. The second call chamira.
Second kol chamir we do
What's the
after.
earliest and the latest?
I have to look in the calendar the exact time. No, there's no early. You can do it as early as you want. As
On
soon as
Thursday night?
No.
Oh, yeah, Shabbos.
On
Thursday
Friday
night,
morning.
there's 2 kol chamiras. Thursday night, you say like regular.
Okay.
Then there's one that we say Shabbos after you're finished with your chametz.
Okay.
After
And-
you cleaned out yourself up of the chametz,
Uh-huh.
you got rid of it. You
That's
flushed up
instead
all
of
the
that's
chametz.
instead of the burning.
Talking about, we're talking about every Shabbos start with the nets.
Okay. And I could say it all day on Shabbos, all day.
No. You have to say it before the time when it's usher to make have chametz anymore.
So it's like around 11:42 or something. Or whatever.
Right, exactly. You
Uh-huh.
say it. You could say it earlier as soon as you're finished, but that's the latest time.
I got you. Okay.
Shakayach everyone for
Thank
joining,
you.
and we should be able to eat the carbon Pesach
Amen.
this year.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Happy birthday
Amen.
to the Rebbe.
So you mean-
Wait, hold on.
Shakayach everyone for joining.
So, write down, we need one. I'll wait.